Go. Oh. I have to. Yeah.
Okay. So, hello.
Hello.
To start off with, would you like to say your name and where you are?
Well, I'm Soneide, Caetano Jungnitz, and I live, now it's been the last 8 years, since 2012, 8 years, in Querétaro. It's in Mexico, the middle of Mexico.
Okay, well, the first question that we have is, who are you? Who are you as a person? And that can be your passions, your interests, your qualities, your values, however you'd like to present yourself.
Okay. Well, first of all, I think my identity is my name. And there's also a history about it. Soneide is not a common name in Brazil. So it was a creation of the mother. She had a friend and she was called Neide. But all my other sisters, their names start with S, Sonia, Silvana, Simone, and I have Cesar and Célio. So to keep on having S names, she created Soneide. And she didn't know that Neide means swimmer. And I was born in March, so I'm Pisces. And she didn't know it. It's just a coincidence. Well, I'm a woman. I'm a mother. I'm a psychotherapist, a wife. What else? I love to swim. I love to paint. I love horses. And my daughter just has the same love now for horses. She jumps and competes. And I'm a sister. I have not just 4 siblings. One has just passed away 2 years ago. And, well, I think people say that I'm empathic, and I think I am. Empathic and sympathetic. I'm open to people, and I think that's why I'm a therapist. Yep.
Okay. Well, our other question is, we are relational beings. So what other human being, who else would you say has had the most impact on who you are?
Oof.
And how?
Well, I think the beginning is the family. My mother taught us to love. She was a loving person. My father taught me a little bit of discipline. With my siblings, I've learned, well, to compete, to cry, to look for a hug, to ask, to demand, to stop. You know, having 5 siblings, it's not the same as being just one kid at home and having all the attention, and was the 5th kid. So then, I mean, that's the basic for my personal being. Then my kids, my husband, things that you learn how to negotiate a lot. Kids, they just bring you to the limits. You know, you have to, that's why you're living. With them, you really know how to stop and how to go till the maximum. I've learned a lot with them. I have 3. And in psychotherapy, my first therapist, he taught me a lot, is Hans-Jürgen Krebs in Germany. He was a teacher and a friend. Yeah, and he saved me. I think, yeah, these are the basic. And I think with everybody just that I meet or that we have a relation, I learn and I take a piece of them and I give them a piece of me. I think it's just a process. The whole life you're just learning each and every day and teaching. You know?
Yes, teaching is a fabulous way to learn things. And yes, I agree with the kids.
Yes.
So another question that we have is, what in your personal history or in your life, what event or circumstance would you say has really shaped who you are?
Events.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, many. I think we can start with my sister when she was born. I was 5, the youngest one. And for me, it was a present. I have an aunt, she just came and said, well, you just lost your throne. I said, what? No. I just got a present. I think that it was an important one to have a little sister, not only to look up, but also to look down and say, hey, come take care, I take care of you. A friend who helped me very much when I went to another town when I was 18. I left my home and went to study. And I have really helped me in there to find a place to live and to start. It was very important. I think the same people that helped me then at work, I had a boss, and my first boss was really, well, what can I say? He was nice, but he could put his limits and make you work good. It was, my kids, they shaped me a lot.
But the event or circumstances, having the kids? Or
I almost died having my boys.
Oh.
My first son Bruno, when he was born, I was bleeding and it was difficult to stop. And when Caetano was born, my daughter, I could read to the last second. I said, wait, let me finish my book. And when I finished my book, I said, now you can come. And she came and she was born and no problem at all. And then my third son, Pedro, was born. Then it was much more complicated and I really almost died. And the doctor said, well, if you're thinking about a 4th kid, I will accompany you, but I think it's not wise to do it, okay? So I don't recommend it at all. And so we stopped at 3 and I wanted 3 kids. So they were really difficult events, yeah. Well, my husband, thanks to him, I met Gestalt. And Gestalt was really important at that point. And what I went through with him just shaped me for the last 3 difficult years that it's been now. This last 3 years are really hard. Yeah, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but it's... Yeah.
So, unless you want to say more, maybe not, about how any of those events changed you as a person?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can say that I worked acceptance, respect, to respect not only the other person but of myself. I've learned to put limits. I used to go really to my extreme possibilities and strength. And what else? Yeah, and to value life. No. No. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To enjoy it now, to see the way it is now. It's when it's good, it's great. So I think, okay, I don't know, not. It doesn't mean that I'm afraid that's going to happen tomorrow, but I've learned to enjoy it now. And when I have difficult times, I know that somehow, somewhen it's gone. It'll be okay again.
Mm.
And I've learned life is a process, ups and downs, ups and downs. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, since I've known you in these past particular 3 years, yeah, that's a lot of up and down. You have an uncommonly difficult 3 years there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned that it was through your husband. I didn't know that. I've never asked you this before. How did you get to Gestalt? How did you find it? How did you get involved?
Well, I had a crisis. Wife and husband crisis, and I was desperate, and so I met Hayu, this therapist. He was Gestalt therapist, and he really actually saved my life because I was lost. It was a hard time for me. It was very difficult. But today I understand that if I didn't have gone through all this process, then I think now I wouldn't stand. Yeah.
And so what has your involvement in Gestalt been? Are you a therapist, teacher? What are you doing with Gestalt?
Well, I'm a therapist. I have my office close, not close, 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from where I live. And I also give classes at the university to the master program. And I have some groups that I used to lead at the church for elderly people. Yeah. And I also worked for the human rights ones. Yeah.
Okay. So what is it that you are most attracted to in Gestalt? What is your favorite piece or your favorite part?
Oh, I have a favorite theory. Well, two. I love field theory. And I learned through it that it was important in my life because everything that I did, I said, it's my fault. And somehow I learned it's not only my fault, it's what we are doing and how we are doing, how we are related. And the other one that I love, and it's also my intention to work with, is the paradoxical theory of change. I love it. I love Weiser. I've read, I could, everything that I grabbed from Weiser, I try to read, and it's a beautiful thing. You have just to accept it. So acceptance, for me, is the main stone in Gestalt. I don't have to change the other person. I have to accept, and I have to accept myself. And that's the most beautiful part. It's what Gestalt gave me. That I've learned to love my failures, and I've learned that my strength is my weakness. Me. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful. I just love that you have a favorite theory. That sounds like such a geek response, and I'm such a geek that I'm excited that I have friends who have favorite theories that we can talk about. I love it. So another question that we have is whether, and this is such a different response depending on where in the world everybody is, do you feel like you are somehow part of a Gestalt community? Does that mean anything to you, and what is it like if you are?
Totally, yeah. Well, when I meet Gestalt people in congresses or in training programs, it's a feeling of family. It's really beautiful. The connection is there. So it's interesting because we have people from all over the world, but this feeling of belonging to that I miss not leaving my country and have lived in many other countries is there. So I have family in US, I have family in Germany, I have family in Italy, in Brazil, in Mexico, in Asia. It's something that for me is very beautiful. Yeah, I have this feeling. And that's why for me, I'd love to connect people and make community with Gestalt people. I think it's important.
Mm-hmm. What is it that you think allows us to do that? What is it about Gestalt people?
Well, I think most of them is this respect and acceptance. I respect the way you are and also because you respect me, and I just accept you and accept the way you are.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so another question that we have, some people don't find this relevant. So I'm asking you, like any other question, you can answer or not. How have you experienced yourself as a woman, or how have you experienced your gender within Gestalt, or is there a relationship between those two?
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't a matter for me. I just noticed because in our classes when I studied my master, we are, I think, 10 women, 15 and 1 man or 2. No? And it's funny because when I go to congresses, I meet more men than women. But in my studies, I just met many more women. So it's this strange. Well, I didn't think about it, but now that you're saying it's strange. Well, when I was presenting my thesis, the local asked me this question, do you think it could be different, the results, or what you're telling us now, if you were a man? Because my patient, I was presenting a case study, and she was a woman, and I have never thought about it. I said, maybe, I don't know. I cannot tell it. I'm not a man, and she's a woman, so I have no idea.
Okay. So you said a bit about this, but I'll ask it as a proper question, which is, how has Gestalt affected you as a person?
Well, I can say that I am a better mom now, that I am a better wife, and even a better person with other people. Because I think I've learned a little bit to respect people and to be aware of what I do and say and feel before I have a reaction or before I see what I think. I have more understanding what people are doing. Yeah, I think that's the impact.
And what would you say might be your greatest memory around Gestalt, your greatest moment? It can be as a therapist, a teacher, a trainer, a client. What is one of those great moments for you?
Well, many. During my first process, well, the first time being in front of a therapist to tell him about me was a strange experience. I had never before had a therapist or went to a therapist or psychotherapist or no. When I was a kid or a teenager, well, it was something for the crazy people or for Jungnitz or something that was not healthy. So I didn't go. Just when I was adult, and I noticed, oh, yeah, maybe it could help. And it was a really strange but nice experience. I have this feeling I'm not alone with this. This feeling of being supported, to have someone hearing, looking at me, and sometimes almost just crying with me and saying, yeah, it was beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. And on the other side of that, what would be one of your most challenging moments or one of your greatest challenges around Gestalt?
Challenging, oh yeah, challenging, do remember really good. I also see terminal patients, and I accompany their family too. And I had a patient, I still have, but it's another one, a patient with LAS. Mm-hmm. And lateral sclerosis.
Okay, yeah.
And when I started the process with the family and with her, she still could talk. But gradually, she couldn't walk and was in the bed, and it came to a point when she couldn't talk at all. And to communicate with her just through our eyes was challenging. But I think it was the most beautiful work I've done till today. It was really significant and really touching for me. And it was really important for her and for the family. Yeah.
So one of the last questions that we have is about the future. What do you see yourself doing with Gestalt, and what would you like to see happen, or where do you think it can go?
Oh, that's a great question. Questions. I think for me, well, professionally, I'd love to make a trainee in supervision. I think we're missing on supervisors. And I think it's really important, not only to go to therapy, because it's a totally different process being supervised and having therapy. And I think in Gestalt, at least here in Querétaro, in Mexico, we don't have many trained people to do that. I'd love to do it and to have it, especially in Querétaro. And that's what I want for me. Well, I loved about doing a doctor, a PhD. Don't look me at that. Don't look me at that like that. I know what you were thinking. I don't know if I'll come to that, but I'd love to work with the paradoxical theory of change, something I really want to do, even if I don't go to school and I have to have a doctoral work. I think I'll try to work with it. And for Gestalt,
just do research for fun, right? You don't have to do another degree.
Yeah,
you can write and research as a hobby too.
Exactly. Yeah, and for Gestalt, I really hope we get more engaged with research. I think Gestalt really needs to get updated. No, I understand why Fritz didn't want to be part of that process then. Huh? Well, he had to be rebel, to change, to create something new. And today I think we are missing basis in showing efficiency, efficacy, telling other people, other methods and lines that we are also capable of helping people, you're also serious. And I hope we can count on you with that.
I don't know. It's a good thing we're both on, the research committee and in the research conference.
Yeah.
We'll do what we can with that, right?
Yes.
Well, I am out of questions, but I'm wondering if there's anything else that you would like to add, if there's anything you feel that we've missed about your wonderful self or about you in Gestalt or...
Well, no, I'd like to thank you for inviting me for this opportunity. Thank you very much. It's something new for me. Normally I'm at the other side, not sitting here but there. And it's fun. Let's do more of this.
Yeah, we can. You can be our new correspondent in German and in Portuguese anytime.
Great. I'm up to it.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be able to sit down and talk to you. And I really appreciate you and the way that you've supported other crazy ideas I've had in the past. And I appreciate getting to spend some time with you. So it's nice to visit your house again.
We'll do
it. But yeah, so thank you. If that's okay with you, I'll stop it here.
Thank you.